Hello and welcome to Menopause Diaries Unfiltered. I'm Jackie Grant, your host, with a decade of experience of working with women peri to post menopause, helping them to lose 15 to 20 pounds in 4 months without calorie counting, restrictive dieting, and spend it all the time in the gym with natural solutions. I've delivered menopause workshops to councils, adult learning, community organisation, and the National Health Service in London, whilst running my own community interest company that I deliver and host menopause and women's health cafes in my borough. This is Menopause Diaries, the podcast where you get real talk about menopause, the weight, the mood, the sleepless nights, the wins, the hard days, unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetically honest. So today's guest is Mariquette Steen, who is from Belgium. Mariquette is perimenopausal, but she is a functional nutritionist. Welcome.
Hi, Jackie. Thank you so much for having me. And
Oh,
thank you so much for also the work that you do. I mean, this sounds really, awesome, everything you do. I really want to say thanks for that and, applaud all that you do for women, supporting women in this stage of life.
yeah. I absolutely love it. And I mean, the thing is my menopause cafe is probably the best thing I do once. Well, I do it twice a month, but I've got someone else hosting that one, but sometimes I end up doing it twice a month. So, and it's something that women can just access for free. Do you see what I mean? And
Yeah, that's brilliant.
it just means that women don't feel alone, which is what happens quite a lot. And when they have, some women come and they go, I haven't got, friends that are going through it. So it's really nice to come here and have the ability to talk to other people. So yeah, I absolutely love it. So tell us about your journey through menopause.
Yeah, I mean, I now, looking back, I sometimes say I've been in perimenopause like most of my life.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so I mean, I've basically always had troubles with hormones, but at the time I didn't, it was just, I thought it was normal, right? I'd never
Yes.
known any better. So I thought it was normal to have this heavy PMS, migraines every month,
Mm,
basically feeling bloated, irritable, all these things. And
mm,
then when I discovered, the changing nutrition and things, I was like, oh, okay, that's different now. That's actually what a period can look like. So
yeah.
I was really blown away by that. And then I guess I had like a couple of good years. And then when I was in my end 30s, my sleep was, I think, the first thing that was probably the most kind of where I felt like, oh, there's something's going on.
Mm,
Um, and definitely as well anxiety. And I think it took me some time to probably realize, or maybe even I always thought like, no, I'm not anxious, but English is also not my mother tongue. So
yes.
for me, like anxiety was always, I always had this thing of, you need to be fearful or, be afraid.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not anxious.
Yeah.
But then I discovered that actually this nervousness or restlessness can also be
Um,
a form of anxiety. I was like, okay, yeah, I do have that.
no, yeah.
So yeah, and I started hormone therapy pretty early when I was 41.
Okay.
So up until that point, all the natural things worked pretty well for me.
Mm,
Then they just didn't. And I was just not, my sleep was really off. I was just spending a long time in bed without actually, having that deep restorative sleep.
yeah.
And at first, I actually felt really disappointed in my body.
Mm,
I felt this kind of guilt of starting hormone therapy, and I thought, like, wow, come on, I'm 41 years old. My body should be able to, like, my hormones should be doing this, my ovaries, they can still do something.
yeah.
And so I was really hesitant at first to start progesterone.
Mm,
But then I did, and I think that's what also what I see with my clients that they sometimes are hesitant and they don't know and they think they should be able to do
Mm,
it naturally. And I mean, then we can also actually argue that, bioidentical hormones are also natural.
mm,
But I think once you actually have taken the step, then you actually never look back. You're like,
yeah.
okay, that's helping. So I'm sleeping well. Yeah, I'm not going back. So
So you found that you were sleeping well once you started taking HRT.
yeah, yeah. So it was really the progesterone that helped me with sleeping well again. And
Mm,
I mean, I could definitely see that, my periods weren't as strong anymore, and also cycles were getting a bit shorter.
mm,
But I had actually often had the contrary before that, that I was having extreme long cycles, and
mm,
then they were kind of unpredictable. And, so I've always actually had more the tendency of skipping a cycle and having painful periods and these kind of things rather than, I was really actually, I mean, this was really okay for me, having a little bit shorter cycle and like really a non-eventful period.
yeah.
So, I was really happy with that. And yeah, so now I'm 47, and I think I've actually been pretty stable, these past years. I with my hormones. I was kind of fearing that my migraines would come back at one point,
Right.
when estrogen starts to fluctuate, and
Yeah.
actually they did. So this time I didn't get them at before my period, but
Mm,
at ovulation.
right.
And then I knew it's probably time to also start estrogen therapy.
Mm,
And that was actually much harder than I thought it would be.
right.
Nobody, I mean, your doctors never give you any indication, right? And
Mm,
I mean, of course, I did have some training in this, but I also have, like, my body just is very sensitive to everything
mm,
and a very slow detox capacity. So, I've learned that over time. And so, starting with, even just a third of a pump of estradiol,
mm,
that was already too much for me. So,
right.
I started that, I was not even using half a pump. I
Mm,
was blowing up. I was so bloated. I had, the tender breasts and everything.
right.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, no, 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 that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically I kind of had to trial and error a little bit with, so I went on just doing it every second day and also,
Mm,
using specific supplements to support my estrogen detox.
mm,
And that then worked well. So I was doing that, taking half a dose of estrogen detox supplements and
yeah.
just doing every second day of the estradiol.
Mm,
And then I was intentionally, taking it after ovulation
mm.
to actually avoid the migraine, and that worked.
Oh, that's
I was
brilliant.
stopping estradiol then at day 16, or when I was sure I ovulation had, passed,
Yeah.
and so that worked well. And then at one point I skipped a cycle again. I was like, okay, so I think I need to, change again. My body has that was after I think two months or like it worked well, and then I increased the dose to every day. So I went daily with that same, and now I'm still actually adapting. I see I need to increase gradually, and I also needed to actually increase my progesterone. So, that's also something that some women they think, oh, HRT, just give me that, and it's
Yes.
just one and done.
Yes. And
And
exactly what you've said is that, you found how it would work with your body. And sometimes I think because the doctor has said you need to take this every day, that someone will just take it every day and that they won't think, okay, maybe I'll do every other day or I'll just take half a pump. Do you know what I mean? And all these kind of different
yeah,
things.
exactly. I mean, it's like when you go to the pharmacy and you get prescription medicine, you will just, follow the
Yes.
instructions. And I mean, there's no kind of ongoing support usually, in within the system that you
Yeah.
would actually say that you can maybe call your doctor or email them if you're lucky, and they
Yes,
reply to the new. But I mean, that's usually not the kind of service that they provide.
exactly, exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? Is that, you know, we just follow instructions basically, and but we don't seem to think, right, maybe my body doesn't need that much at this point. Do you see what I'm saying? uh
Yeah, I think often we actually have kind of a gut feeling about it, but then
yes,
it's also about trusting that. And I think
yes.
most women in this phase of life, they're so unrooted and they're so often also so anxious and overwhelmed that
Mm,
they actually also forget to trust their gut.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So what positives do you think that you've got since, being in menopause?
Well, I mean, the positive, I think, is just, it's also, there's definitely days where I'm just really like, oh, really. Why? Like I can, I don't like unknown. I like to have a structure. I like to follow a plan. I
Yes,
like to be in control of things.
yes,
And this is exactly what it's not, right? So
yes,
you have to kind of accept that your body's doing, the things that you don't want it to do.
yes.
And that you have, I mean, I'm really working a lot on accepting my boundaries and my energy levels as well.
Mm, mm,
So, and I think that's hard, but it's also empowering at the same time.
mm,
Because you actually really grow as a woman and you know who you are and what you want and what you don't want.
mm.
And so I think in that sense, it's yeah, no, I'm also learning a lot. I'm learning a
Yeah,
lot like from my own body, but
yeah,
also with my clients. And I feel that, it's always helping me to afterwards, be a better practitioner and
yeah.
provide better service for, the other ones who are coming afterwards. So it's,
Exactly.
it's a constant learning curve, right? Because as you said, every woman is different.
Mm,
One woman will just go very well with standard dose and never look
mm.
not have problems, and
Yes,
the women will be more like me or maybe even different. I mean, I also hear a lot of this progesterone. Well, I mean, many women also get now the reaction to progesterone, and they think they have like an allergy against it, or they
mm,
cannot use it because they get these kind of heart palpitations,
mm,
anxiety, which is just really actually not that, but it means that your nervous system is in overdrive and your
mm,
body is just converting that progesterone that you're giving it to cortisol. So it's
mm.
just really about, correcting that situation. Um, yeah.
Exactly that. So, did I see that you're writing a book?
Yeah, I do actually already have a cookbook for hormone balance.
Oh, nice.
And now I've started actually last year and then I wasn't really happy with it. And now this year I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I changed the direction and it's really kind of for the sensitive woman, like somebody who's a bit like me who kind of
Yes,
reacts to everything. And I mean, I also have a history of, mycotoxin illness. I had mold several times. So, that doesn't make the hormone thing much easier.
yeah.
You're dealing with all the other things
Mm,
impacting your body.
yes.
So it's basically really about that. It's I'm sharing my story, but I'm also kind of giving this kind of connecting the dots between
Mm,
symptoms and what's happening and how that actually affects your body.
mm. Oh, that's it. That's so great. That's so interesting. So,
Thank
where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm active on Instagram, not as much as I would like to be, I guess, but you can find me at Marika Steen, or you can also look up my website. So that's marikasteen.com. I guess those are the best places. And, on my website, you have like also the links to social media, or, you could fill in a contact form, or there's some free resources there as well. I have a blog that I usually publish weekly articles all about, women's hormones as well. So that may also be a good resource for, people looking for more information.
Oh, that's absolutely great. Um, so thank you so much for being a guest today. I'm thanking everyone for watching and listening.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions for me or for my guest, ask them in the comments, like or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take
Thank you
care.
so much for having me.
No problem.